What is up, guys? Tejas here from 11 Gauge Recordings, and it's been a while since I released a video. So, this would be a short one. This is a video on manual editing versus using a gate for editing guitars. So, on my previous video on editing guitars, there was this person who commented on the video asking why I wouldn't use a gate in place of manually editing the guitars. So I thought, why not make a video and show you guys why I wouldn't use a gate and why I prefer manually editing the guitars, even though it's a bit more work. So let me preface this video by saying that I do have OCD and I need to know that my editing is done effectively, and I need to know that it's perfect. And especially for the kind of music that I work with, I need the guitars to be a lot more syncopated with the kick and the drums, and it needs to be really tight, and there's no real space for wavering around, and it won't sound really tight then. So I need it to be exactly syncopated with the drums, and the only way to kind of make sure that it's done right is to go and manually edit them, especially for the application that I was using the manual edits for, which is palm muted guitars. You could use gates for a lot more applications, but for palm muted guitars, I don't think it would work. But let's just try it out and see what a gate could do for editing metal guitars. So here goes. So for those of you who haven't listened to this song from my previous videos, this is a song called Don't Get Too Comfy of my upcoming EP. So let's just play a part of the song, and I'll get into soloing the guitars and showing you guys why I wouldn't use a gate instead of manually editing the guitars. So here goes. So as you can see and hear, those are manually edited guitars. So what we can do is I'm just going to copy this part of the song to another part of the session so it doesn't disturb the actual song. Let's just get into that. What we'll try doing first is adding the gate on the individual rhythm guitar track, and I'm going to remove all my plugins on the group so the plugins don't disturb the gate. Pan it to the center. So let's just try it on one guitar track first, and then maybe we can copy it to the other guitar track and maybe even try it on the guitar group. So let's just experiment with it, and I think I can show you guys why I wouldn't use a gate for editing guitars. So here goes. I have the gate over here. So the attack, I've obviously made it as fast as possible. That's 10, and hold also is all the way down, release also all the way down. So let's just see how that sounds. Let's just bring back my original guitars without the edits. So in this setting, it is doing something, but it's not doing it effectively, and it's not doing it for every space in between the palm mutes. So that's the first thing. So, and it's not doing much. It's not really removing that much of the noise. So I'll just play it for you again. Okay, so let's just bring down threshold a bit more. Now that starts to happen. So let's just play around with the controls a bit more. Maybe increase the release. Nope. so obviously that doesn't work too. So on the first setting that had the gate on, it did work a bit, but it didn't do it effectively. And I need my guitars to be edited very effectively and very precisely. So now let's maybe bring it back close to the original, the first setting that I had it on. Let's just copy this setting on the second rhythm track as well. Let's pan it. So you can see it is silencing a few parts but not all. So like I said, it's not doing it effectively, and I can still hear a lot of the noise in between. So that didn't work. So let's just remove the plugins from the individual tracks, and now let's try putting the gate on the group itself. So let's just try the setting. Again, it isn't doing much, and it's introducing a lot of noise because there is no space in between for the gate to act. It's not fast enough, at least for this gate. And another reason why it wouldn't work is guitars are way too dynamic, and in this case there's pan guitars which are double tracked, and each performance on the left and right are different. It might seem like a very small difference between the two, but it's actually a huge difference between the left and right track. So again, if you need consistency, you'll have to go and manually edit the guitars and make sure that each of the spaces are silenced, and make sure that it is syncopated with the kick exactly, so that it sounds really tight. So again, on the group also it does not work. So that is why I wouldn't use a gate for editing guitars. So let's just go back to my manually edited guitars, and let's see how that sounds again. And you know why I always manually edited palm muted guitars, at least. So here goes. Sounds a lot more cleaner and tighter, right? So that's the whole point behind it. And I just don't trust machines at the end of it. So I would rather go in, and I know from this that I've done the best possible job I can, and it's working for the song too. So if I play the song, this is how it sounds. So gates, not really usable for rhythm guitars, or at least palm muted guitars, but obviously gates are an amazing tool for a lot more applications, and I use gates always for other applications, but for palm muted guitars, no, I would never think of using gates for palm muted guitars, and that's why I wouldn't use it. So hope that helped you guys, and see you guys in the next video.